You have one unheard message.
Okay, it's 3 a.m. My shoes are gone. Was there, and my Uber rating is definitely a 0. You are not ready for this story.
The day has finally come. Lauren Rowe, welcome to It Is Always Something. How are you feeling today?
Thank you, daughter Davis Rowe.
Daughter Davis.
I feel great. I'm in San Diego. It's a little June gloom in October, though.
Yeah, it's good I finally got you out here.
I know.
It's hard to get you away from Dad. So funny enough, as much as this is probably very new to you, you actually had a podcast before, right? So you've done this
I did
kind of whole shebang.
I did have a podcast, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. I loved doing it. Ultimately, I ended up not doing it anymore just to be brutally honest, creative differences with the woman I was doing it with. I wanted to sort of have fun and laugh and be raunchy and joke about stuff. And she wanted to have, really in-depth, serious interviews with CEOs and talk about intense topics. So we just parted ways.
Totally, which is something we were just talking about before we got on the mic, was how there's so many different types of podcasts. And as I've been going into different studios since the Dear Media studio is under construction right now, it's been so funny recording in front of new people and them being like, wow, I don't usually hear podcasts on that topic. I'm like sitting down here, they had a podcast about like church before. And then I'm like, so this girl was a bitch to me, so I titty twisted her. And the producer's probably like, what did I get myself into today?
Yeah, you look like such a church girl.
Oh, shut up.
I wonder what they're thinking when you sit down, though. What are they, do they size people up and try and guess what they're going to
I think about that a lot.
About?
I mean, I'm like a blonde white girl. I feel like I'm as basic as they get. Yeah.
You're not basic.
Yeah, thanks. Get it from you, twin. So you were just in Saint Tropez. You had a fun little, I would call it a weekend recap, but when was that? Like about a week ago, not too long ago.
We got home, just a couple of weeks ago. We were overseas for about 3 weeks. Vacation for me. Your dad was working hard, as he always is.
Yeah.
As I had just told someone yesterday who asked me if I was still working, what I was doing. I said, my current job.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this.
The best Mrs. Rowe that I can be. Personally, I think I'm crushing it. But Dad likes to remind me that I do have quarterly reviews.
Yeah, but which is funny because I feel like that's hilarious. But I also feel like the biggest thing in your relationship is like happy wife, happy life. Like if you're happy, Dad's happy. Obviously both ways. If you love each other equally, I'd say. But in just the terms of you're kind of making it sound like, oh, like I make sure dinner's on the table for him, and that's just like not the relationship you have.
Oh, I can sum that up really quickly because people do ask. I mean, Dad and I have been together since July of '95 and married 26 years, and we're really happy, but we do not believe in soulmates. I mean, that's ridiculous. You think there's one person out there for you, and I think a couple things can be attributed to us having such a good, easy relationship is that we didn't pretend to be something that we weren't.
Totally.
And we both totally believe and know that we could get divorced today and we could both be on 10 dates tomorrow, meaning that
okay, shit, T.
No, that we
this one's out onto the next.
We're not stuck with the other person.
Yeah, you just said that.
Choose to be together.
You guys could both get along with so many people. I mean, you could get along with a homeless man on the side of the street. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yes,
you're very
but
good at
I
it.
would think that it's not like Dad or I are everybody's cup of tea. And in fact, along the years, we've had multiple of our friends say, you guys are perfect for each other, as though we're both so fucked up, like nobody else could be with us. We're lucky we found each other.
Yeah.
Not sure that's such a compliment.
Yeah. No, you guys are definitely a power duo, but we'll get more into that later.
Thanks, Davis.
But obviously right now back to me because I'm the main topic.
Okay,
I'm
let's
just kidding.
talk
You're
about
the main
you.
topic girlfriend today. You can have the crown. But so obviously we're sitting here in San Diego doing a podcast, which is still very weird for me to say out loud and just to like, what's that word? It's very out of body experience.
Surreal.
Surreal. Yeah, surreal. There's a word for it, but I'm forgetting it. But basic of the question is, what do you think about me and my social media and my podcast? I mean, I know recently it kind of started to click for you. Like, I mean, freshman year, I was like telling you and dad, like, oh my God, I have this is happening, like whatever. And you guys were kind of like, yeah. At what point were you kind of like, oh, okay, this is something she could do seriously? Or just in general, what are your thoughts on my social media and podcast?
I think it's great you have your social media and podcast. I see all the time. I think it's cool that, you know, you're our third child, and just like your older sister had a dream to go to an Ivy League and had it come to fruition. You had a dream
Little different dreams, yeah.
to do social media, and I think that's awesome. I mean, just to start, I love to think how you came into this world. Everyone used to tell me, oh, aren't you so lucky you had Davis on Mother's Day? And I was like, lucky? I got screwed out of my one free day. She took my day. Like, that's the day I get to like do whatever I want, rule the roost. And here I am like stuck in the hospital having you. So
Totally.
I like to think that that's how you came into this world. And
I'm like sitting here like, yeah, totally. What?
Totally. Dad and I always said you'd either be in jail,
locked up in jail or rule the
president of the United States.
Yeah, watch out, Donald Trump. I'm coming for you. In that same breath, how do you feel about my vulgar story times? Like, I know there's stuff like dad definitely doesn't watch, but as my mom, how do you feel about the vulgar story times? Because I thought something that was so hilarious when I've never honestly thought twice about it, how you guys feel, just because I feel like the person I am online is the person I am in front of my friends, is the person I am at the dinner table, the person I am in the classroom. So I've really never thought twice about it. But in Dublin, when I posted that story time and was like, oh, I had a foursome in Dublin, which I've debriefed that with you guys. That sounds a lot more crazy than it was. The kid, when he called me, said to me, is your mom not seeing this? Like, what does your mom think? And I remember responding to him and being like, my mom thought it was awesome. Like, what are you talking about?
I think parents can detach from that a little, sort of, because we've been around the block a few times. I actually think it's a lot harder for kids to sort of see their parents that way. Like, if I started talking about on my podcast, me having a foursome or dad and me swinging or something, I think that'd be a lot harder for you to deal with.
That'd be tea, though. Like, I wouldn't want to listen to it, but like, shit, I'd tell my friends to tune in.
Oh, everybody thinks dad and I are swingers.
Really? I so see that. I have one of my friends.
We were just out for Thanksgiving, and a friend of ours, we were like walking into the bar, and she mentioned something like, oh, you know, when you guys like pick someone up and take them home.
That's fucking hilarious.
I was like, wait, what? And she's like, you know, come on, like when you and Gabby bring someone home. I'm like, what are you talking about? And her husband was like, Sue, let's not talk about this. And I was like, let's talk about this. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, totally. I know. I get a lot of criticism online of people thinking my personality is maybe an act, or just like I'm not who I say I am. And as the person who raised me, what do you have to say about that?
I think that that's absolutely ridiculous, because clearly the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I mean,
that's very
we
true.
Raised all you guys to be true to who you are. I mean,
seriously,
Dad and I certainly are true to who we are. Like, since you were little, we let you dress however you want. I mean, you got a lot of slack from that teacher in kindergarten.
Are you kidding?
Because you wanted to wear like one of my fur coats to
I'd
school.
pull up to kindergarten, and meanwhile, like I wasn't dyeing my hair obviously in kindergarten. If you would have let me, I probably would have been. But I was in bleach blonde at that time, and so I had dark hair, my roots very dark, and I'd go into kindergarten with your bright bleach blonde ponytail attached to my head. You'd give me the end. This is when you were in your Coca-Cola phase. Like, you'd always have a Coca-Cola in the morning, and you'd give me the end. Do you remember it? So I'd walk into class every day in my my little like sneakers that like had a heel. Like, my sneakers were like elevated sneakers. I had like the Disney ones or whatever those were. And then I'd have like a Coca-Cola. I'd have like my neon ponytail, my like white ass, like basically neon ponytail and a fur coat. And then you'd let me experiment in makeup, like nothing crazy.
Yeah, you never did anything inappropriate. You weren't
that
wearing
was
something
weird.
like a really short skirt.
We had a
or-
neighbor one year that I remember I gave like an old makeup palette to, and it showed up in our mailbox the next day. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and like the dad was like, "Do not let her wear makeup," and she was like literally 16. I'm like, okay.
But they were telling their kids when they were like in 5th grade that, the family pet was at the farm.
Yeah, exactly. And like
not
Santa was still like
telling
coming
them
to the tree.
that the pet died.
Yeah, very true. So what was it like? What was it like raising me and growing up? That's kind of a broad question, but
Well, I mean, keep in mind
we kinda
also
just
you're
covered it in
third.
that.
Like the other moms and I would joke that you can always tell it, kindergarten drop off who has multiple kids, because you'd have the moms that were like, oh my God, all teary eyed. And they'd like walk with their kid holding their hands into the classroom. And the moms like me who had 3, like kidding, but not really kidding. Literally, we'd roll through in our minivan in the line, and the car was like still rolling as you'd like.
And you were also
leave.
known for your school drop off outfits.
Yes, I was known for my school drop-off outfits. I also was known for driving the car holding my mug of coffee, because I like to drink my coffee in an actual mug.
Yeah,
Just everyone knows
you
how
did
I am
do
with my
that.
drinks. I like my cocktails with stems. I like my coffee in a coffee mug. But you were funny, Davis. I mean, we knew that all 3 of you would be different. I mean, I'm different than my twin sister and my older sister, but
totally.
you, like, for getting in trouble early on, we would tell you, I mean, you were like literally 4 years old, and we would tell you if you did something, you were going to get punished. And you would literally, like, the other 2 would stop, cry, get upset. You would literally stop, look at Dad and me and say, well, what's the punishment? And Dad would literally look at you and say, Davis, are you actually considering like you're going to do it if you think the punishment isn't bad enough?
If the crime is worth the time, it
And
definitely
you loved
is
hanging
worth the
out in
debate.
your room, so sending you to your room didn't work.
Yeah.
Your whole like MO early on as a kid was sort of like, bring it on. Let's do this.
I was the worst kid to punish, Jesus Christ.
You still do that. It
Yeah, I
might be
know.
a different issue or a different topic.
Yeah.
But you basically look at Dad and me and you're like,
Bring it on. I look
Bring it
at
on.
I
Let's
look at
do
life
this.
in that way, honestly, as do you, Queen. So what is one thing, or just maybe something in general, that you think that the internet doesn't know about me or doesn't see? Because I feel like everything you're explaining, like we could go into my childhood. Like we could actually sit here for 5 hours and talk about so many funny, iconic moments from my childhood, but that it all makes sense. It's all
that's so
you would,
easy
You would
for-
understand, like you could paint the picture yourself.
Davis,
honestly,
that is so
What's something you think the internet doesn't know about
easy.
me?
That's so
Doesn't
easy for
see.
me because you and I have a lot of similarities. That's why we
She's just gonna use this way to hype up herself.
occasionally
How can I make this about me?
butt heads. No, but I think I do have to say what things you have that are like me to answer that, which is the easiest answer in the world. You protect yourself at all costs.
Yeah.
If someone hits you with a 2, you're going to come back at them with a 15. If someone backs you in a corner, you're going to come at them like a caged animal. But you have an absolute heart of gold. You are the most loyal. You are someone who anybody would want as a friend. You would have your friends back no matter what.
Yeah.
You would support them no matter what. You might behind closed doors be like, oh my God, that was so dumb. You are totally wrong. But in front of everybody else, you would support them, have their back. And I think as a woman, that's a rare thing and a really cool thing,
Seriously.
because women seem to, for some reason, still in 2025, think there's not enough room at the top and think the way to make
Seriously. Oh my
themselves feel
goodness.
better is
Quote.
by tearing other women down.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with that. Very well said.
Thank you.
Okay, now sadly, I guess enough about me. We can get into you now. So first, we're going to open it up with a little icebreaker before we get into
Okay.
the questions.
Hercules.
So we're going to just play. It's quick. It's easy.
Okay.
We are going to play a game. It's literally like 5 words, but we're going to play a game called Rapid Fire.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say some words, and you're going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Bottle service.
Too expensive.
That's like the opposite thing I would say. I'd be like, whose card is it going on? Not mine.
Yeah.
Some
I don't know.
Okay.
I like some things that are nice, but some things are like too
You're not. She's
bougie, or
not
they're
like a party. You're a
trying-
party girl, but you're like, you want to be at like a private event. I don't know. I feel like you're not like clubbing in the
Sometimes
visa.
the bottle service, they try so hard to be cool that
That
it's
is
almost
true.
not cool.
That's honestly really true. Or it's like you'll
Sorry.
see like I saw on TikTok one time this clip of we're so bad at rapid fire because we need to yap about everything. This clip of like probably in San Tropez, like a bunch of bottles going by and like they literally put like a candle in it and it's like literally that's like 600 grand just went by and you're like, what?
Yeah, the place in San Tropez is called L'Opéra, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. She knows. She's a local.
Thanks.
Wait, I don't even know if you know what this word is because you're like out of the loop sometimes, but situationship.
I don't know what that is. Situationship.
So a situationship is like me and Tyler. You're not in a relationship, but you're definitely not in a relationship. So you're in a situationship.
Oh, yeah. Nobody can explain that. Like
What, me and Tyler or situation?
you and Tyler.
Okay,
I
well,
can't. I wouldn't even. I don't even think situationship would be good enough.
Situationship. Okay. Situationship. Okay, that's I guess her fast word. Stripper. Rapid fire. Stripper.
Stripper. I think of.
No, you say stripper and then you say a word. Stripper.
Oh, I have to say one word.
Yeah.
'Cause I just want
stripper.
to sing.
Rapid fire. I mean, I guess.
At the Pink Pony Club.
Martini.
Favorite.
Dildo.
Not my thing.
Glitter.
Glitter. I love glitter.
Dad.
Best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, that's cute. American Express. Also the best thing that's ever happened to me.
No.
The worst
Punishment.
thing that's ever
You and I
punishment.
now have in
Bad.
common that we both have limits on our American Express.
Oh, you know what? I would like to add my limit has definitely like 10 more less zeros than your limit. So let's not
Your
compare.
limit's definitely less than mine, but just the fact that I now had to be on
You
the
asked,
limit.
the thing is about this American Express limit is you had to ask for it. You went to Dad with your tail in between your legs.
Because I'm having self-control issues.
Like my dad's like, you're spending too much and she like had to make, like, you're the victim. She's like, Gabby, no, like I'm a victim. Like I'm having serious issues. Like I don't know if I need therapy.
It wasn't that dramatic, but I just need a little self-imposed regulation.
Bouncer.
Date.
I thought you were gonna say Davis. Like I feel like when people think of bouncer.
No, date. I turned 21 my senior year of college, so I dated bouncers so that I could get in.
That's awesome. Bouncer date. Why? Okay. Hungover.
Right now.
I wanted you to say Coca-Cola. Yeah, last night, we had a really good dinner. We went to the Nobu Coronado in San Diego. Literally one of the best meals I've ever had. But then they charged my mom for an extra edamame, and she was not happy about it. And like low-key, like said something to the bartender, and then like, you know, beat the dead horse. So then we were talking about this edamame, like me and her being like, how could they charge us for an extra edamame? It's like
Yeah, and it was a
$8
total
edamame.
accident, and that place.
You admit now it was an accident? I'm gonna have to
Well,
tell Emily. Emily was like, she's pressed.
I
It's like,
think
we'll
it
talk
was.
about it
I think it
tomorrow.
was an accident, and I still tipped him a really nice.
You did.
I tipped him a really nice tip.
Well, my mom's like, I'm gonna leave a bad tip. I'm giving just 20%. I'm like, bye. That's a bad tip in my parents' eyes.
That
by
place
the way.
was spectacular. But they,
Spectacular.
Davis, they do sometimes.
You made a great point. You said if they charge an extra edamame on every person's card, yeah, because she did make a good point too. You said how many people are going to look at the bill, and then another amazing point you made that resonated with me is you said, Davis, how often do I look at the bill? And I said, that's true. You usually just put your card down. And you said, I'm not saying I usually don't look at the bill just because, I don't usually look at the bill. I'm telling you that because why did I have a feeling this time to look at it? And I low-key was like, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, it is. I think
That was weird. You did say last night you had like a gut feeling.
And just saying for, my twin sister, is a bartender and server. So, and I know all the names of the bartenders for the bars that
Yeah.
we go to. But
No,
I
I'm
will
seriously
tell
a
you,
bar etiquette
there are a
trained.
lot of people who won't tell you the tip is included.
Oh my God, I hate when
when
they
we
do that,
went
I
for
know.
your birthday to Miami. I hadn't been to Miami in a while, so I totally forgot they included it. I tipped our waiter, who I really liked.
And he told you?
No, I tipped him 30% because he didn't tell me. And so then I realized I tipped him 30% on top of already
And the thing is,
tipping
but you
20.
would have added 10% if he told you. You would have made it 30% if he told you. But the fact he didn't tell you, like, okay, I'll just give you what the check already gave.
Oh no, he didn't tell me, and
That's what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
know till I walked out. So I'm
Oh, so you
making the
still gave
point.
it. Oh,
I'm making the
damn.
point that people can intentionally be dishonest.
Well, yeah, that's like, yeah, it's very. Boys,
Fun,
one night stand.
not a good idea.
Okay, I think that's our empty. I mean, that's the end of our hot seat questions.
Okay,
I told you it'd be quick, it'd be easy.
I like that. I'd like to hit you with a couple of those.
Go ahead. You got any off the top of your head though? I came prepared, so.
I'd like to know what your answer to one night stand would be.
Well, you have to ask me at rapid fire. Like I have to like be in character,
Oh.
and you have to like say it, and I'll kind of be like, I can't know what's coming.
Okay, we'll do that next time.
Okay. You'll come prepared next time with some rapid fires. Okay, so now we're gonna get into questions. So first, I have some that I just want to ask you, and then I actually submitted a post to all of my followers and asked them questions that they want to know about you.
Okay.
Which also are some questions I want to know.
Bring it.
So first, were you similar to me growing up? Like, were we really similar? Like, you
Very similar because
yeah.
I would rather go down in flames than admit to anything.
please. What was your high school experience like?
I loved high school. I mean, first of all, different than yours in that people thought I was a boy till I was like a junior in high school.
Well, I had that too. I like literally didn't get my period because I was a gymnast, and just because you didn't get your period for a while. Got my period junior year, and then like woke up with boobs and was like, what? And then started dyeing my hair, and then these boys were like, oh my God, like you have a vagina? I'm like, babe, I've always had a vagina. So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Especially like when living in California growing up, I wouldn't wear a bikini top until I was like 15.
Yeah, and some people had
People
such
actually think
issues
that's
with that, which
you know,
is so
wait, okay,
weird.
that sounds crazy.
They're
Not
only
15,
boobs, not 15, but they're only boobs. You guys wouldn't wear
I
tops
was, like,
on the beach
7
at
when I
like
was, like,
6 or 7, and
yeah.
people were like,
6, 7. I'm
oh
sorry.
my God, that girl doesn't have
I'm
a
editing
bathing
that
suit
out.
top.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And also something I think that made your school experience so different, and just life in general, is you have an identical twin sister.
I do have
Yeah.
an identical twin sister. And I think that's funny because the biggest misconception people have about twins, and especially identical twins, is that you're exactly alike, or anything you do that's different,
Yeah.
you're doing to differentiate yourself. You're just different. I mean, that's the same way that when you and your sister as kids got money one year, you know, as a Christmas present, your older sister went out and bought, you know, like the newly bound Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
And you went to CVS and literally dropped $100 on like press-on nails and lip gloss.
I loved the press-on nails and like the fake glasses from Claire's, which I find it funny because now the like glasses are coming back into style. And I always, when I was little, would love like the fake glasses from Claire's.
Yeah, as someone who wore glasses and didn't like it since I was 3 years old, it's hard to imagine people wearing glasses by choice.
Totally, definitely. So if social media was around when you were my age and in your 20s, like, do you think, like, if you were like not even actually around during that time, but just if maybe you grew up in this generation, it's funny because I think you'd be the type of person to like my mom, in my opinion, would be the type of person to have, yeah, maybe some Instagram posts, but you would be like the TikTok that is no TikTok post, like no profile photo. Like you would not be, like you'd never answer your
No.
phone, always be on do not disturb. That's what I would
It took
assume.
me a
But tell
while
me
to
if I'm
get
wrong.
into it took me a while to get into texting. Then I realized it was a lot easier than having a phone call, for sure. But it's kind of interesting because I'm certainly confident. I loved, like in school when you had to do something and get up in front of a bunch of people, I was like, okay, that's like fun, that's easy.
Yeah.
But there's something different with social media.
Yeah, you don't like it.
and
It's
putting
so
yourself
funny.
out there. I just
It's not
feel
even
like
putting
it's,
yourself out there. I feel like it's almost just like the reason I like doing it so much is almost I like the praise. And I feel like you don't, the same way you don't give a fuck about the hate, you almost don't give a fuck about the praise either.
I don't, you're right.
That's what I think it is. Yeah, which is funny as fuck. So, I guess honestly, all the questions I wanted to ask you, my followers asked you too. So I guess we'll just get right into it because they had a lot more juicy questions. Because they love the tea. So someone, it was funny, said, do you ever wear just a t-shirt and sweats? Because I guess people think you're always dressed to the nines. I'm like, look at her right now.
That's so funny. I don't do, and I never have. I don't do the in-between thing. Like I don't get up and shower and like, oh, I'm gonna go drop the kids at school and put on like jeans and a cute little top. I am either in sweatpants with my hair up, unshowered, just having worked out or gone to the gym, or I'm wearing high heels with an outfit.
Totally.
That's me.
Yeah, that's always been you. What are some things you wish you knew in your 20s?
I wish I saved more money when I was younger. And just what a lot of people my age would say, cared less about what other people thought.
Totally.
Because I've never looked like other people. I've always loved fashion.
Seriously.
And it used to drive me crazy when people would gawk or look because I didn't look like other people.
Well, it's funny, people used to gawk and look because you would be wearing either A, a trucker hat, B, a fur coat, or C, big glasses. And what does every bitch wear now?
Or bodysuits.
All those things.
I had girls in college be like,
and like
that's so slutty, you're wearing a bodysuit out with jeans.
Yeah.
Like.
You're boring, yeah.
Well, people are funny. It's sort of like the lucite heels.
Yeah.
I would wear them and they were clearly stripper heels. Totally. Oh, but once Chanel put them down the runway or Fendi or Prada, and now Christian Louboutin sells
that's just how the fucking
heels.
World works, which is crazy.
So I guess to be clear, if you pay like $1,500 for the shoes, they're acceptable. But if you pay like less than $100, they're stripper shoes.
So when would you really say you found your confidence and style then? Like you kind of always, or what?
I always was confident about my style because I never looked like other people. I just don't care anymore when someone whispers something mean or turns and looks. Because let's be honest, sometimes Dad will say to me, how do you know they weren't saying something nice like, oh, look how pretty she is or look how cool that outfit is? We all know as women, you can totally tell when a woman is whispering something negative.
Yeah, see, but I completely agree with you, and I'd sit on the mic, except there was this one time I got a DM from a night out, and as you said in the beginning, like, I'm a very loyal friend. Like, be mean to me, honestly, whatever, but like be mean to one of my friends. Like, I'm coming for you. And this girl, I guess, like, I don't remember this. I woke up and had a DM. That's what made me remember. And some girl was like, last night I was like staring at one of your friends because like I really liked her outfit, and you like looked at me and were like, can I help? Like I said something apparently rude. And she like responded, was like, I really like you. Like, I love you. Like, I've been following you forever. I just liked your friend's outfit. And I was like, oh my God, that's humiliating. I'm an awful person. So that happened one time and I didn't even realize it until she was to, which how often does it happen that they're able to come up to you and be like, oh, by the way, when I was laughing at you a week ago, it wasn't that.
Yeah, I know.
So shoot, you never know until it happens. And then you're like, I'm awful. A big question, because people want to know just a lot about you and Dad and like the dynamic and just opinions on relationships in general. But to begin, how'd you meet Dad? Like, how old were you? Whatever.
I was 23.
Mm-hmm.
It was summer of 1995 at the Vail Shootout in Colorado. Vail, Colorado. It is a lacrosse tournament that's still up and running. You can totally go to the Vail Shootout. It's every July 4th.
Okay, but come on, like, tell the fun part. Like, he was like chasing you in a bar, and you were like, no. He's like, I don't want it.
He was waiting in line at a bar.
And you'd heard about him before, right? Like,
everybody knew.
My dad had three brothers. So like, everyone knew
there were
who
three of
were.
them, all a year apart. They were all great athletes, good looking.
My dad was a three-time All-American.
Yeah, and like a 3-sport All-American, national wrestling champ, All-American soccer player, All-American lacrosse player. But he was waiting in line in a bar in Vail, Colorado at the shootout, saw me through the window, came in, started talking to me, and we had a good conversation. I mean, I thought he was hot, but then he said to me, oh, so you live in New York. Well, I'm in, New York sometimes for business. I could take you out to dinner. And I was like, no.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And then he left the bar.
And then? Or and then he left the bar. I denied him, and then he left the bar. And then what?
Well,
Then you
because
chased him down?
you don't want him to think it like you're so easy, like, oh, just, it shouldn't be that easy, right? You don't like to make
yeah,
it
but
easy.
then what? Then you
So
chased him down.
they have a place in Vail, I think it's still there, called Nick's. And at least back then, that was the late night place you would go. It was really dark, and that was total like hookup scene. So you were totally going there to troll, to hook up. But that's where everyone ended at the end of the night. So I went there and did find your dad.
Find
Because
him.
I thought it doesn't have to be something serious. We could just like hook up.
But you literally were living with a man when you met Dad, right?
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Interesting. So
But I wasn't married. I was just 23 living with someone, which was not a good idea to do.
Yeah, which is also something funny I want to talk about because we have like a viral TikTok on my account of me being like, were you ever, because me and her were like actually having a serious conversation. Like she's like getting on me for like being mean to like my ex-boyfriend and being like, you're mean to him, like you can't be mean. I'm like, you're telling me you were never mean to any of your boyfriends? She looks me dead in the eyes and goes, I was never mean. I was never mean to any of my boyfriends. I mean, I cheated, but I wasn't mean. And that was like a really funny TikTok. So Dad was what? And I fucking quote, the first boyfriend you ever had that you didn't cheat on? Your ex is watching this like, what?
I mean, that's like a tricky subject because in the beginning when Dad and I met, I had just was moving out of living with someone. So I did have a lot of friends saying to me, which is kind of true, you shouldn't leap right into a serious relationship. So I went on a few dates in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think that's important. I mean, I think there is nothing wrong with dating, more than one person.
Yeah, as long as they know.
If you're honest about it.
Yeah, but
I
were you honest? Okay. But that was also a weird part of your life too when you met Dad, right? Living with that boy, like.
Well, I mean, you don't want to have a conversation about something sad, but I lost my mom at 21. So I was dating this guy, found out she was sick, like she died 6 months later. So I sort of moved in with this guy. I wasn't my normal self.
Yeah, that's just fucking insane to me. Like the fact, like, we'd always talk about you losing your mom or all of that, but it's crazy. I'd always be like, oh, that feels like, oh, you were so old, that like growing up. You'd be like, oh, I lost my mom at 21. Oh, you were so old. And now that I'm 21, it's crazy to be like, oh my God, I could not imagine that.
It is, but you know what? You know me,
that's a hard
I'm
time.
glass half full, and I always say I lost my mom, not my mommy. We were, no, because we were like,
Sorry, can I laugh?
I knew she loved me. I wasn't a little asshole like I was in high school.
Yeah.
And, I think I'm lucky I had her that long. So,
totally.
But yeah, I remember that relationship was not good when I lived with that guy. And my twin sister came to see me in New York. She was about to leave to go backpacking in Europe solo for 6 months. And I think I started to cry, which I don't cry.
Yeah, seriously.
Because crying doesn't help the situation, right?
We know that was the thing. Like something also we could talk so long about is just like the interesting dynamics we have in our family. Like just in terms like, I'd come home and be like, Mom, this girl's talking shit on me or like being mean. And, most moms would be like, do you want a hug? And you'd be like, well, fuck her. Like, don't be her friend then. Like, go make other friends, And also something you're super funny about is, wait, what was I on? What topic? I lost my train of thought.
That's your ADHD.
My
Something
ADHD.
else you got from me.
Something else
You're
I
welcome.
got from you. Something you're so funny about is friendships, but also something else you're so funny about is what was I gonna say?
I don't know. But to go back to me crying with Aunt Catherine, she said to me, I was like not happy
family
in the
dynamic.
relationship. And she's like, you're not married. You can leave.
Yeah, but
And
you'd
so I
always
left.
say, growing up, this is what I wanted to say. Like, I'd do something wrong and apologize. And you'd be like, sorry doesn't fix it. Like, that's why, like, literally something else I talked about in my last episode was, like, just how you learn things as you go throughout life. Like, just something that's never meant anything to me or anyone in my family was the word sorry. But to some people, that's, like, everything. And so, like, I've had times where I've gotten in a fight with someone, they've been like, all I want is just you to say sorry. I'm like, really? That's just that easy? That will fix it? It's funny because that was like not a dynamic in our household. Same way tears won't fix you being upset.
Just so that's clear, it's not that it's an issue with admitting you're wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't do a whole bunch of stuff and then say sorry and it's all
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree with that. Yeah. Someone else asked, you'll like this. Someone said, how are you so successful?
Me successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because I actually don't think I've found my success yet. You know, I have.
Yeah, she still has
I
a lot of
like
things
to
she wants to
surround
do.
myself with strong women who are, you know, stronger, prettier, smarter, more successful because they elevate me. So I have friends that are, you know, Mac Daddy in the, you know, financial industry, or one of my girlfriends who is like, was way high up at Netflix and now she's way high up at, you know, another company. So it's interesting someone would perceive me as that. I mean, if success means having 3 happy, healthy kids and a good marriage, then yes, I'm successful.
Totally. Someone else asked, which you've never told me the answer to this question, and you're probably not going to answer it now. But if you do answer it, I'll bleep it. Someone said, "What's your body count?" Can you give me a ballpark? You've never told me. I'm 21. I feel like you can tell me, like ballpark.
Honestly, I don't have an issue having that. I think it's around like 25.
Okay, wait, that's like average. Which is funny, like something I want to do like a episode on is like busting myths about me, because people think, which I'm like, why do they think that? And then I go online, I'm like, oh my God, like I flashed my tits to the bartender last night. It's like, okay, I get how that could be maybe misleading a bit. But even though I'm like crazy in terms of like my humor or just like how I carry myself, I like am very much like just my mom engraved in my brain at like 10 years old, and would be like, your pussy's a prize. Like if a man is not on all fours like begging for you, like leave. Like you just have always.
Do you remember what I used to tell you?
Yes.
You were horrified.
Should
Are
we
you going to say it?
Should we like say it together? If you're gonna go down on a man, make sure
that he goes down on you first. Which it was setting a principle to you, so that because
setting a principle.
you were
it's my fucking 13-year-old
at
ass,
that
yeah.
when you were young, it was a time when.
But honestly, that is such like
all
that.
these
You're
girls
right.
were just
that is such
all
a
they
principle.
were doing was doing stuff for guys, thinking that that's how a guy would like them. And people can think whatever they do. I mean, in college, I did not sleep around. I went to college with a boyfriend, and Aunt Catherine and I were the girls who you invited to your fraternity party if you wanted to have fun, not need to babysit. You wanted to like see a pretty girl and hook up with someone else. Like people would take us as dates.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't sleep around. So I always thought it
I'm
was
the same way. I don't sleep around
hilarious
and people think
when
I
I
do.
would hear like, oh yeah, she like was with 2 guys last night and this and that. And I'm like, where do these rumors come
Seriously,
from?
or you want to know my biggest rumor that's funny?
What?
Is people always expect that. People expect, and I bet people even listening are going to be shocked I'm saying this. People think that, which I'm not shocked people think this, but everyone just thinks, and you say this happens to, I don't know, maybe I should cut this out, but you say, Dad, this happens to too. Just of people thinking like, I do cocaine or I'm on cocaine. Not the people think I do cocaine, like, I could name 15 people have come up to me and been like, hey, can I have some bag? And I'm like, what, you want like my lip liner in my purse? Like what bag? And they're like, no, bag. And I'm like, wait, I don't do cocaine. They're like, and then it's not even like, oh, okay. It's looks me up and down. Be so for real. Just on the way, like I guess I was acting 5 minutes ago.
Davis,
like,
that
be
is
so for real.
such a personality thing. And you know,
I'm like, I'm sorry you bitches
your
can't
dad
have fun.
has never done a drug in his life.
Yeah, that's something so
He's
cool about my dad.
never
He's only
even
ever
tried
had alcohol.
marijuana.
Never even
I
tried
think
weed.
that is so cool.
So cool.
But it is crazy. Everywhere we go, people will hit him up and either ask him if he wants cocaine or
Yeah.
wants to get high.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But seriously, people always think, or like just like all my videos, a troll comment would be like, oh, how many lines did you do? Funny enough, I don't do cocaine.
Thank God.
Yeah. No, not my thing. Yeah, there's so many more myths I could bust for you guys because I as you just said, people will say like, oh, this happened.
People
I'm like, it
think
did?
what they want to think.
I'm like, it did happen? Like, that's news to me, and I'm me, you know? How do you achieve I don't give a fuck energy? How would you achieve that? Just in general, that mindset and that attitude.
Oh my gosh, you and I were talking a little bit about this last night at the bar when we were sort of talking about that quote that says like, envy, you know, or wanting to be like other people will completely ruin your joy in your
Oh
life.
yeah,
We-
comparison is the devil's something like that.
Yeah,
it
just
is really true.
how bad that is. But you have to, you know, you only have yourself at the end of the day. So you have to like
Really
being
true. You have to like
with
you.
yourself, and you have to like you. And this whole idea of you complete me is such bullshit. You complete yourself.
Period.
And then you find someone that works in your circle with you. But the whole notion of needing someone to complete you is
That's
such
also something why
bullshit.
I feel like you and Dad work so well. Is you guys just met at a good time. Like you say, like you never you married exactly who you thought you married, which is like why things worked out so well. Like you never lied about who each other were. But in that same terms,
And we
it's like,
dated a bunch of people before we were with each other, and we both slept with a bunch of people. I'm sure your dad slept with a lot more people. I do not need to know his count, but
neither do I.
no, we don't. But yeah, you definitely, in dating each person, you find something that works with you and find something that doesn't work.
But
with
that's
you.
something I'm experiencing now. Is like there's some like people I might want to be with, but it's like I don't want to be with date someone because I have hope in the person they can be. I want to be dating someone because of the person they currently are. And it's like I feel like I have so much going on in my life. Like I just don't have time for someone who doesn't have it figured out. And no boy who's a senior in college at San Diego State has it figured out.
You can't.
And I
change
also don't like
someone.
hookup culture. Like unless I like really like you, like I think it's I don't even like people like drinking out of my water bottle. So why would I let some gross man like saliva all in my mouth unless I'm like in love with him? I won't do it. I won't have sex with a man unless I'm in love with him. Have I before? Yeah. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's kind of surprising you don't like the hookup culture. I would actually say to that note,
Why?
I appreciate the hookup culture in that.
Yeah.
I think when you get married, you choose to be monogamous. I don't think we're meant.
oh my
to
God,
be
no. But that's something
monogamous,
you always
but
say. You would
it'd be
never want
great-
us to marry our first boyfriend. That was something you would always say to us. Or even some girls, I was going to say this. Some people are not going to like this. This is going to be controversial as fuck. But something that is like your biggest fear, that's dramatic, but something that you were like, oh my God, is never marry one of the first people you sleep with or are with. Like you need to like, because
Yes,
then they
I
might
would
get
not
curious.
want any of you,
Yeah.
your brother, your sister, or you, to marry the only person they've slept with. I think at some point in your life, you're going to wonder what it would be like to be with somebody
Yeah.
else. And,
Seriously.
you know, maybe you're not compatible. Like, I just think, like I said, we're not necessarily meant to be monogamous. We're
Totally.
sexual beings. And I think that you have to be able to explore that part of your life
Gotta let some steam out some way.
some way.
So on that same note, a lot of people want to know just like some dating advice or just like, what do you think? How do you
Oh,
think
totally,
like,
one-
a girl? People also were like, how should I like this man screwed me over? Like, how should I go about it? Like, what's your advice on just dating and like men and relationships kind of in general to people my age?
First of all, let that shit go. Like
Yeah,
someone
that's your
screws
biggest
you
thing.
over, a guy screws you over, you know, I hate to throw out the little cliche, there are plenty of fish in the sea,
Yeah,
but
seriously.
there are a ton of guys out there.
But you also say,
So-
speaking of the same fish in the sea, a point you always made that I like is so true is like there's men, you can be dating someone who checks 99.9% of your boxes. That's settling because there's someone who checks 101, which is something you always told me. Like the amount of men who I've been like, oh my God, like he could be the one. Actually, okay, maybe like, actually, I was gonna say one, but I don't know.
I just think you know if it's right or not. And let me be
Yeah,
clear,
that is
checking
true.
the box doesn't mean, you know, oh, I need a guy who makes this kind of money and is this
I mean, it could,
tall
though.
and does
If you
this.
want
Because
that, you
I
can
think
get
that
that.
that's why some women end up single because they have like a little, they've literally created some like man putting them together with all these parts. And so this person they've created in their head doesn't exist. And newsflash, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Your dad's not perfect. But you definitely make a huge mistake if you meet a guy and you're like, well, okay, I'm not completely attracted to him. The sexual chemistry isn't really there, but I think he'd make a great dad and he makes a
Right.
lot of money. Like
know.
that relationship is going to suck. And to that, I'm sort of up on my soapbox here, so I'm going to say it. Like I was raised in an area, the main line, bougie area outside Philadelphia, and you had a lot of these guys who never would have dated me. They wouldn't date someone like you because we're too like
Oh
crazy
my God, are you
out there
kidding?
or
Yeah.
trashy. So they marry the perfect little woman who does everything right and looks right.
And now they're
then
fucking bored.
bored as shit.
Yeah. Completely.
So sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely had a unique parenting style growing up, I'd say. Very just like something you say, which I think is honestly beautiful, is that like having kids didn't stop your marriage, which I think a lot of people, which is great. I've heard people all the time, like Iris from Love Island, random, but I remember watching an episode of Love Island and her being literally, and I quote, being like, my whole purpose is to be a mom. Like, I'm so excited to be a mom. I'm going to be the best mom ever. And you like, don't get me wrong, you love your kids. You're a great mom, but you definitely have a unique take on it, I would say. Like, you're the opposite of a helicopter parent, which I also think is why me, Jack, and Jordan are so incredibly different, because you gave us full creative direction to decide like who we wanted to become and who we wanted to be, and then sat there and was like, you can do that. Hence why we all are.
Well, I think everyone hopefully does, parents in the way they think is going to raise their kids
To be
having the
best.
best life.
Yeah.
But this won't go over well, I'm sure. But, your dad and I both say all the time, about parenting. We're honest about it. And I love the three of you. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd have the three of
What?
you. I would die for the three of you.
yeah.
But I would never say that the three of you are the best thing I ever did in my life. I would
Yeah,
say that
which is crazy,
I
'cause,
would
like,
say
most
marrying
parents would be like,
dad's the smartest.
Yeah, I
thing
asked
ever
dad
did
one
in
time,
my
like, who
life.
knows? I was probably like so hungover, like just ripped the bong. And I'm like, yo, so like, if you had to choose like on a cliff, like I'm hanging, mom's hanging, what's your choice? Immediate reaction, well, I chose mom. I didn't choose you. I'm like, so the same scenario, you'd choose her then too. He's like, well, yeah, no shit. I'd choose mom over you any day of the week. Like, okay. Like, I guess I'd want my
That's
husband to
not
say the
true.
same thing. I know it isn't, but
Yeah,
if we're fighting,
you
he's
and I
gonna
were
take your
hanging
side
on a
though.
cliff, he'd grab you.
Well, just because I have more years. He honestly, mom, that'd be the hardest that he'd grab you. I think he'd always, it could be anything on the other side of that cliff, girl. He'd grab you.
Oh, Davis.
Come on, girl. Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, last question. We're just gonna do some like kind of boring ones, but just some things the people want to know.
Okay.
What's your like skincare tip? Because you have the best skin. Girls want to know.
Number 1, sunblock. Number 2, sunblock. Number 3, sunblock.
The girls are gonna hate that. I'm girls.
I have tried everything with you. I've tried to have the dermatologist
Wait,
scare
I just got
you.
the Tatcha
I've
sunscreen.
tried
I've
the
been
skin
loving it,
cancer
Mom.
scare. You are gonna look older than everyone when you're 30.
Mom. I've been on my
stay out
sunscreen
of the
grind. I've been
sun.
wearing that Tatcha one, and I've been loving it.
Okay, well, I'm glad
Really good, that
because,
Tatcha one.
But it's skincare is
good.
consistency. You gotta be consistent with your skincare. It is, I hate to say it, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. You gotta be constantly, do occasional
Facials. Seriously, you gotta get it
facials.
cleaned
And
out.
I say it's really easy because
true.
look, we're all on a different budget. I say to everyone, find an esthetician you like and be very honest. Say, look, I can afford $500 or $1,000 for the entire year. Be honest. Let's say it's $500. And then they will tell you, okay, I would get, these, because you can get a facial places for $99. I would get, a facial every 4 months, and I would buy this, cream from, L'Oreal at the grocery store, and then get this prescription like retinol.
Totally. It just also is finding what works for your skin. Like, I've learned like nothing drying on my skin. My skin just likes to be moisturized, and then like an exfoliator once a week, and then facials. That's what I've learned. So it's just knowing your skin.
Exfoliation and moisturizing is everything.
Yeah.
Like the whole creepy skin phenomenon thing with like women as they get older, like you gotta exfoliate and
Yeah, exactly.
moisturize.
What do you think are some upcoming? Do you have any upcoming predictions for fashion trends?
Well,
You said socks with heels, and then Miu Miu did it. I'll give you that.
correct. And
I-
I bought
the
when
knee-high socks with the tight leggings is giving like my third grade crush in gym class with like a red Gatorade stain on his lip, you know?
Yeah, I like it. It makes me feel fun. And
as
when
long as
I
you're
look
happy,
down, it reminds me of being a kid. But no, total fashion trend is like 6 months ago, I bought some long suede coats to belt and wear as dresses. You're going to totally see that as a trend coming up. There are a lot of shoe trends
Oh, the
coming
belt
up
and the
that,
dress is
that I won't
totally
wear because
happening.
I don't like flats. So I'm not going to wear flats.
Okay, awesome. And we're just gonna wrap things up here. We're pretty much done with the episode.
Okay.
So funny thing, the very first thing we sit down in these chairs, and she's like, "It's," which I honestly had the same mindset too. When I first started doing this, she was like, "It's so weird, like the mics here, like you almost just kind of want to." I'm like, "Wait, what? Can we just clock that really quick?" And she's like, "Well, not in that way. I'm just saying, like when something's like right there, you kind of are almost drawn to just like
Yes, you feel like you need to lean in or yeah, that head
or
motion.
bite it."
Like,
Yeah, that head motion. Jesus
oh,
Christ.
Davis.
Yeah. Oh, Lauren Rowe. Okay. Well, are you excited for the rest of our time in San Diego?
I'm totally excited for the rest of our time. I mean, we'll have to figure out what we want to do. I mean, we can't do as much as we might have because we both have limits now.
Yeah,
so-
seriously.
And I think we
Thanks,
might have.
Dad.
I think we might have wiped out like 3/4 of the limit last night at Nobu.
Yeah, seriously. That was one of the best dinners. I think I already said that.
It
but
was.
seriously spectacular. So awesome.
Amazing.
Yep. And it was good because Emily's back because she was just on tour and I
Oh,
was
I
living
know.
alone.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, we have to decide. I don't know if there's like a football tailgate going on later we could go to, which all my friends are going to, but I just am not. Like, I don't really feel like social.
Your
I kind of just
football
want to
team
hang out
kinda
with you.
blows, doesn't it?
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
But but everyone will be there. But like, I don't feel like do you feel like talking to 45 parents who like probably like, oh my God, I'm like, this is blah, blah, blah's mom. And you're like, oh my God. And then I'll be like, wait, I have spoken to that girl twice in my life, you know?
No, and this is all new.
Do you wanna
for
just
me.
hang out with
We
me?
don't really do like Dad and I don't really usually
Hang out with
do parents weekend.
They don't. Well, that's why we're kind of just doing like Mom and Davis weekend, I would think.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
We got to get our walk in. I got to get my
Yeah,
steps
we love.
in.
That's where I get it from. That's where I get a lot of things from. You couldn't tell after today's episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I got to go back to it. It cracks me up when I read something online because I do dive into it sometimes, and I'll read
The hate comments are
people
funny. Oh
make,
my God, like
and I think that it's so easy to prove that you're not copying anyone or imitating anybody but me. For anybody that knows me, my friends laugh at the comments. They're like, "Oh my God, Davis is totally you."
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. My guy friends say the same things. Like they'll just like it'll randomly come up somehow of them just like saying in some breath, just being like, "You're just so amazing at being yourself online in terms of like." I do a great job representing the person I am. Because people a lot of the times will ask like my friends at college, like we'll ask Camille or Leah or Summer and be like, is she really like that in person? And they're like, well, what do you mean? You think the camera goes on and all of a sudden it's like, bitch, she's crazier in person. Like, buckle up, you know?
And people love to
Talk shit.
judge that, talk shit or hate on that. And what it is, Davis, is they're jealous of the fact that, you know, everybody would like to be who they are.
Everyone
true to
would like to be
themselves.
Davis Rowe.
No, the biggest, they say one of the huge regrets people have
It's not like
on
being
their
true to
deathbed
themselves.
is not being true to themselves. And so when they see someone like you or someone, because I'm that way too, being true to who we are, they want to hate on it.
Yeah, that is so true. I love that. That's a good episode. That's a good thing to end the episode on.
That
I think.
is.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I see many martinis and gossip in me and my mom's future for the weekend. I'm actually filming another episode after this, but of course I'm going to change my outfit so you guys have no idea. I'm getting a phone call. Of course I'm getting a phone call. I'm so popular. No, someone did that yesterday. My friend was getting a phone call. And we're like, oh, you're getting a phone call? And she's like, well, obviously. And I thought that was so funny. Like, being like, why wouldn't I be getting a phone call? Like, I'm so popular. So that's my new thing, whatever. So yeah, we're doing back-to-back episodes. So I would love the next episode to be a debrief on Parents Weekend, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer. We have something fun for the next episode, so make sure you tune in. But I hope you guys absolutely loved this episode. Thank you so much for coming on. That was seriously amazing.
Thanks for
I
having
see many
me,
more,
Davis.
something else. I'm like, it's like I see in your future. I see many more podcasts on this. in
Yes,
the future.
I look
Many more
forward to
podcasts
coming
on It's Always
back.
Something. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Mom, for being here. And I'll see you guys for next week's episode. Bye.